Hello, my name is Karel, and I'm one of the designers of the Youtoma solo variant for Rolling Realms. The Youtoma solo mode is published by Automa Factory as a free print and play from the link in the description, and it is an additional solo mode on top of the mini golf solo mode that is provided in the Rolling Realms box. Please do note that this solo variant is not a Stonemaier Games product. In this video, I will show you the Youtoma solo mode, I will explain how it works, and I will go through the realms and the scoring. There are timestamps in the description. In a separate video, I will do a playthrough of a Youtoma game. That one is also linked in the description. To play the Youtoma solo mode, you need to print some sheets. On our website, you will find a starter pack containing a rulebook and 2 sheets with the realms and space to keep track of Youtoma's resources and score. If you run out of free space on the sheets, you can print some new ones from the reload pack, or alternatively, you can laminate the sheets to use them with the dry erase markers from Rolling Realms. You can also laminate or sleeve individual cards as you wish. To avoid reflection, in this video I will use the printed sheets from the starter pack and a regular pen. In the Youtoma solo mode, you will compete against Youtoma, trying to beat their score. Youtoma is a virtual opponent. They play the same realms as you do, following a separate but similar set of rules. But you are the one making all decisions for them. So, in a round, you will first play 3 realms in Youtoma's stead, trying to score as low as possible. Then, you will play the same 3 realms by the normal rules, trying to score as good as possible. A game lasts 1 or 2 rounds, and after that you compare the scores and determine the winner. To set up the game, you need 1 set of realm cards from the Rolling Realms base game. You need a dry erase marker and an eraser, and you need the dice. If you use a printed sheet for Youtoma, you will also need a normal pen. At the start of each round, randomly choose 3 realms from the set of cards, as you would do for a normal game. Mark these realms on the Youtoma sheets, for instance with a round number, as you will be playing the same set of 3 realms for Youtoma. There are some general rules to consider when playing the Youtoma part of a round. First of all, if the placement of a die on a certain Youtoma realm can lead to a star, you must place it on that position. Say, you assign a 4 to the Tapestry realm, and there are 3 different positions to place the 4 piece, but only one of those 3 leads to a star. You must choose the position that will actually score a star for Youtoma. The obligation doesn't force you to assign a die to a realm where it will lead to a star. You are completely free to choose a realm where you can legally assign a die, and within that realm you must score a star if possible. Please note that you are not allowed to assign a die to a realm where it wouldn't lead to anything being marked on the realm card. Youtoma has 11 rolls per round instead of the usual 9. On easy difficulty level, this is 10 rolls per round. Also be aware of the fact that Youtoma will never spend resources. All gained resources will be 0.1 stars each, and on hard difficulty level there is an extra bonus for gained resources, which I will go over when I talk about scoring. Like a normal player, Youtoma does have a limit of 12 resources per kind every round. I will now go over all 11 realms in alphabetical order to explain the Youtoma specific rules and show some examples. The first realm is between 2 castles. In this realm, the bottom row has some restrictions as to what numbers you can mark there. You can't write a 1 on the lower right space of the left castle, and you can't write a 1 or a 2 on the bottom row of the right castle. Furthermore, the benefits are listed on the individual boxes instead of on the columns. As soon as you mark a square with a benefit, Youtoma immediately gains the benefit. The other rules are the same as in the normal version. I will now assign some numbers in order to show you how the realm is played. The first die I assign to the realm is a 1. Now, if my first number would have been a 3 or higher, I would have to assign it on this spot here, as it immediately completes a row, and it would give Youtoma a star. As a 1 isn't allowed in that square, I'm free to assign it here, here, or here. I will mark it here, and Youtoma gains a heart. The next number I will assign is a 4. I must assign that here, completing this row. Youtoma gains a star. As third number, I assign a 1 once again. As I can complete a row here, I must assign it here. Youtoma gains a coin and a star. 3 turns in, Youtoma already gained 2 stars. However, I managed to block this spot, as no number can be assigned here anymore due to the 1 on the second row. Next up, let's take a look at Between Two Cities. During the round, this realm works exactly the same as in the normal game. However, 2 numbers are already pre-filled. I will now assign a 3, a 5, and a 2. As stars for Between Two Cities are never gained during the round, I will never be obliged to choose a particular spot. So I can assign the 3 here. The 5 cannot be assigned on one of these 4 spots, as it would neighbor the other 5. So I choose this spot. Finally, I assign the 2 here. The difference between the Youtoma version of this realm and the normal one is in the scoring. At the end of the round, instead of scoring the lowest of the 2 other realms, Between Two Cities scores the highest of those 2. So, if I end up with 2 stars in Between Two Castles and 6 in Euphoria, in a normal game I would only score 2 in Between Two Cities. Youtoma, on the other hand, will score the 6 stars from Euphoria. Be careful though, the normal rule is still in effect that the number of stars can't be higher than the number of filled squares. So in this particular case, Between Two Cities would score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. Charterstone then. The difference here is that, when marking a building, you should note both dice on the crate instead of only the non-assigned die. Also, the resource bonuses are different. Let's say I roll a 1 and a 6. I assign the 6 to Charterstone. Youtoma gains 2 coins. I mark the building, and on the crate I note the 1 and the 6. In the next turn, I roll a 1 and a 2. I assign the 2 to Charterstone, marking the building, gaining a heart, and noting a 1 and a 2. Then I roll a 1 and a 4, and I decide to assign the 1 to Charterstone. What I can't do now is mark the 1 building, because a 1 can give Youtoma a star. As a matter of fact, in this case it will give Youtoma 2 stars. When assigning a 1 to Charterstone, I will have to mark these 2 crates, and Youtoma will gain 2 stars. In Euphoria, the bonuses have been changed. If I place a 3 on Euphoria, Youtoma immediately gains a star, as can be seen in these altered bonuses. When I would assign a 2 to Euphoria and I would mark this one, the sum in this area would be 5, and Youtoma would gain a pumpkin, a heart, and a coin. But I can't choose that 2 right now, because marking this 2 will give Youtoma a star. So that's where this 2 goes. Please note that, when rolling a pair, you can't mark the same number twice. So if I would roll a pair of 4s and I choose to assign a 4 to Euphoria, I would have to choose one of the available 4s. My Little Scythe works exactly the same like in the normal game, but 2 numbers have already been pre-marked. Only the numbers are marked. The corresponding resources are never added to Youtoma's resources. So if I assign a 6 to my Little Scythe, I can only choose this one. Youtoma gains a heart and a coin as a matching pair has been created. Next up, I will assign a 2. My pumpkins are currently at 5 and my hearts are at 4. That means I will have to assign the 2 to the left area, as Youtoma gains a pumpkin then, bringing the total number of pumpkins to 6, which counts for 2 stars. I couldn't assign the 2 on the right side, as Youtoma wouldn't have gained a star then. The Youtoma Pendulum realm is totally different than the normal Pendulum realm. It plays very simple though. You mark a number and the benefit is gained. When you complete an hourglass, a star is gained. So, for the first 4 I assign, I must choose this 4, as it will score a star. Next up, I assign a 5. I choose this one, and Youtoma gains a heart. Then I assign a 6. There is only one 6, so I mark it. Youtoma now gains 2 stars, one for the 6 and one for completing the hourglass. Inside, the dice are arranged differently than in the normal game, and the resource benefits are different as well. When you mark a top row number, you must also mark the bottom row number if it is empty. So, when I assign a 4 first, I must choose one of these 2. I choose this one, and Youtoma gains a star. Now, when I assign a 6, I must choose this one, as it will give them a star through the bottom 2. So, Youtoma gains a pumpkin and a star. When I assign a 6 next, I can mark this one, gaining only a pumpkin and a heart and no star. Now for Tapestry. Please note that Tapestry has the biggest change compared to the normal game in terms of scoring. In Youtoma Tapestry, no stars are gained from completing rows or columns. Instead, a star is gained every time a big square is filled. Or, in other words, every time a resource is gained, up to a maximum of 6 of course. So, let's say I assign a tree. There are several squares that can be filled with a tree shape, so I must choose one of these. I can't assign it here, for instance. I choose this one, and Youtoma gains a coin and a star. Now, every new tile must share an edge with a previously filled shape, if possible. That's another rule for this Youtoma realm. So, when I assign a 2 now, I would have to place it here, or here, or here. I can't gain a star anywhere, so I'm free to choose. I choose this spot. Now I assign another 2. It must still share an edge with one of the shapes already present, but this time Youtoma can gain a star. So the shape goes here, and Youtoma gains a heart and a star. A 1 can't be assigned to Tapestry unless you have a 1 that can't be assigned to any of the other 2 realms. The society basically works the same as in the normal game, but there are some changes to the realm. Firstly, the rows are 1 card wider. Secondly, the benefits of row 1 and row 3 have been swapped. And thirdly, some numbers are pre-filled. There are 7 sets of 3 cards here, but of course 6 is still the maximum of stars to be gained. So, I first assign a 4 and I choose to assign it here. Next, I assign a 2. Assigning it here would give a star, but I can't assign it here because of the 2 on the bottom row. So, I choose this spot. Now, I assign a 5. It can't be assigned here because of the 4. I assign it here, filling the top row. So Youtoma gains 2 pumpkins, 1 heart, and 1 coin. When I now assign a 4, I must assign it here, as Youtoma will now gain a star. In Viticulture, the 2 grape is missing. The benefit of the 1 grape is a double coin, and the wine orders are 9, 10, and 11 instead of 10, 11, and 12. When filling a wine order, I must overpay as little as possible. So, if a 6 has already been marked and I assign another 6, I must fill the 11 wine order. I can't choose the 9 or the 10 in that case. If the 11 order would have already been marked, I would choose the 10 instead. Finally, we have Wingspan, a bit of a different beast than in the normal game. There are 3 birds, but they don't have predefined wingspans. It's Youtoma's goal to reach wingspans of 7, 10, and 13, or larger, but those can come from any bird. Also, the benefits are a bit different. So, let's say this has already been marked on the wingspan realm. Now, I roll a 2 and a 5. The 2 can be assigned on both the first as the third bird. However, I choose to assign the 5. That one will have to be assigned on the first bird, as it would lead to a wingspan of 11, and that is larger than the currently unmarked 10. So, the 5 goes here, Youtoma gains a heart and a coin, and a star. And that's how the different realms work. After 11 turns, or 10 turns on easy difficulty, the round is over and the score is calculated. Now, scoring for Youtoma is very similar as in the normal game. Add up the stars Youtoma scored in the 3 realms, and then add 0.1 stars per earned resource. Note that Youtoma never spends resources, so they gain points for all of them. Add everything up, and that is Youtoma's score for this round. When looking at the last 3 realms I explained, Youtoma scored 3 plus 4 plus 5 stars. Together with the 7 pumpkins, 5 hearts, and 9 coins, that makes 14.1 stars. You will notice there are little star symbols on every resource line, after the 6th resource. Those are extra stars for the heart difficulty level, and only for heart. For every resource kind of which Youtoma has 6 or more, they score an extra star. So, in this case, we would have to add 2 more stars, and the score would be 16.1 stars. If you only play 1 round, you now compare this score to your own score with the 3 same realms. If you play 2 rounds, you add up the scores from round 1 and round 2 and compare the totals. Let's say I won the first round with a score of 15.3 versus Youtoma's score of 15.1. I lost the second round with a score of 13.7 to Youtoma's score of 14.1. My total would be 29 then, and Youtoma's total is 29.2. That means Youtoma is victorious and wins the game. And that's it for this how to play video on the Youtoma solo variant for Rolling Realms. Youtoma is a free print and play. All files can be downloaded from automafactory.com/rr-youtoma. The link can be found in the description of this video. You will also find a link to a second video over there, which is a complete playthrough of a Youtoma game. Until next time, bye!